Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 12 with the Boston Bruins rebuild. We're now on the eve of starting our third season in charge here, and the regular season's about to start in a couple days. We're going to face off against Buffalo first, but we're going to look back at the last two seasons that we end up doing. We started off with 31 wins, 44 losses, 7 overtime losses with 69 points. We then got 10 points more, obviously with like a gutted team as well. But you can see the improvement there in terms of the goals for. 255 is a significant amount more than 205. So obviously we've led in around the same amount of goals. But, I mean, we end up at least scoring some, so we kind of made it competitive. But I think this offseason is definitely going to be the reason why we end up taking that extra leap ahead. And we don't really have any first-round picks, as you can see. We do have Detroit second. We have a third, a fifth, a sixth, or 2 sixths, and 2 sevenths. So we just end up kind of adding a little bit towards the end there. I'll show you what we end up doing afterwards. But with the acquisition of Dupont, I mean, I can easily see him passing McAvoy for top spot within the end of the season. So I think just that possibility is great. Obviously, McAvoy's a little bit better defensively, but I mean, between first line and second line, they don't log a crazy amount more minutes. So we're not too crazy with that. And then we have Rubric, who's going to start this season. He came off of 87 points in 62 games last season, so we're really hoping that he's going to be able to do well for us. Obviously, in the center position, we're not as great. We got Ashton Brown instead of Cole Chandler to start off the season, but obviously if there's injuries, then that can bounce up as well. Most teams don't have this amount of gap between players that are starting and players that aren't. I just didn't see the benefit of starting Andrew Thompson just to start as a third liner. I mean, we did do that with Poitras as well, but even then, Poitras could end up being a casualty for all the talent that's going to end up coming up through the center over the next couple of years. I don't think that it's necessarily that our center's lacking. I think it's just the fact that there's decent amount of potential, and there's going to be an ample amount of competition for our centers. Obviously, right wing is where we need to focus on. We have our two top ones, and then we have Lucas Edmonds, who's going to be starting this season, I think. And then we have Bocage as well that we got as a free agent. We do have McGregor Richmond, who could end up playing that slot, but we do need a third, maybe a fourth line right winger as well. Defenseman, looking at it, Klinberg's last season for sure. Drysdale, I mean, he is still pretty young, but I mean, if he can end up being our third line D. That'd be fantastic. Same thing with Lorley. If Lorley could end up being our third worst lefty, that's fantastic. Villeneuve, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up surpassing Lorley this season. I mean, defensive rating's not that great, so he needs to be paired up with someone who's defensively sound. But his offense looks pretty decent. His shooting accuracy is pretty good. Shooting range is pretty good. His offensive read's good. He's a decent offensive player. Chris Farreau going to end up starting with us as well. We didn't end up signing Hudson just because there's too many. You kind of want to space it out a little bit. I'll show you how our cap situation is going to look. We might even have to sign a player this season to end up making it above the cap. I think we're probably a bit low. Yeah, we're 68, so I think the floor is 70. Yeah, so we're going to end up having to add probably one player now, and I might look at prospects potentially, but someone that's not making necessarily that much might end up having to get bumped down. Obviously, none of these players, maybe Brown could be it, or maybe even like Chris Farreau or Smith as well. Terrence Smith was one of the first trades that we ended up doing. Yeah, we ended up trading with Ducks, but I don't know why it's not showing. So we end up doing some trades as well, but I'll go into the cap a little bit more here. So as you look at McKenna, he is around $1 million for another season. Rubric, at least we end up having that gap for that extra season, because next season is going to be McQueen, Hoggins, and McKenna. So those are our priorities first off. So someone like Musty, I mean, he does make only 2.2. Voronkov might be a casualty next season because we don't want to, we don't need a $6 million fourth liner or third liner potentially. Poitras also is going to be extending as well. So he could be the guy that doesn't end up getting it because you have four players at the same time. And then next season we have Rubric. If Doneye ends up doing well as well, we have him too. And then we have Brown, and that's not even to mention the players in our system as well. So goalies as well, we'll probably need another backup unless we end up extending him next season. And then defensemen, I mean, this is where it gets interesting because they're all going to be expiring at the same time. So Dupont, Villeneuve, Smith. So at least there's a little bit of a gap between our big players next season and then our players the season after, which is why a player like even Cole Hudson, Malcolm Spence, William Moore, and Thompson, we want to have that gap. We want to have an extra year so we're not paying out all the contracts, and we can at least try and keep some of these players for that extra season, because I think that next year is going to be a big one for us. So we'll look at some of the we'll look at signings first. I mean, we end up getting Flanagan, Richter, and Kiersey as well. We did sign Dupont from the draft. Rylan Smith and Jesper Kodiarvi, we end up signing from the draft as well, but we then obviously sent them out, one to loan, and then one we end up sending, I think, to the OHL, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, Providence Bruins, never mind. So we sent them to the AHL. But we'll look at the trades. We end up kind of trimming up some stuff. Obviously, the players that aren't going to play for us, why keep them? We'll go down. We end up trading. At the end of the draft, we end up trading our Locke Mellis for a 6th round pick, Skarek for a 7th, so just getting rid of it. Kevin Hayes we got for a 5th round pick to Anaheim, not that bad. Plord we got for a 5th. Downey, who's one of the goalies that, we already had too many prospects anyways, and already had an ECHL player. We ended up trading him away. And then here we end up getting Malcolm Spence. Malcolm Spence is a guy that I've played with in other games. I really do like him. I know there's a little bit bias that you should try and change up who you end up playing with, but it's just one player. We end up giving up Lomberg, who is a solid 3rd, 4th liner, maybe even a 2nd on certain teams. Jesslop, who's developing as well. We end up getting rid of Pinchuk, who we were trying to get rid of anyways, and then a 5th and a 3rd. 2 consecutive years there. And then we got Andre for a 6th, and then Flores as well. So some of the trades that we end up getting, some of these players we end up flipping. So like the Hayes one was the 5th rounder. The 3rd rounder was Downey. So basically imagine this. So you end up trading Downey and Downey and Hayes, Lomberg, Jesslov, and Pinchuk for Malcolm Spence. I'll take that every day of the week. And if you look at his stats, he looks pretty good. He can probably even stay in another season if we need it, but he's already 3 stars. That's pretty good. I mean, everything looks like his physicals look average, so good enough. Like, he should be able to compete. He's a team player. Determination's there as well. And then his offensive, getting open, passing. So he's obviously going to be more of a playmaker. Granted, he scored more goals last season, so I don't even know what I'm talking about when I say that, I guess. But the fact that, he can get open, his passing's pretty good. His shooting accuracy is good as well. So he can kind of play anywhere that we'll need on the wing as well. And his defensive, he's not a defensive liability. So the fact that he can play counterattacking as well, huge boost for us. So looking at our team, though, we'll look at potential first. We have, just on the roster right now, we have five 5-stars, which is pretty good. And then we have 2 4-stars that are confirmed right now. Obviously, everything can change in a little bit. And then we have a bunch of 3.5 stars, which, I mean, when all said and done, if you have a lot of, if your worst player is 3 stars, you have a very good chance at winning. Now, here's where it matters for this season. So we have Pasternak, we have 1 5-star, we have 2 4-stars currently. Swayman's not going to get much better. And then McKenna, McQueen, and McKenna and McQueen could end up being a 4-star by the end of the season. So we have at least that. We have like probably six potentials there. And then you also have Dupont, who's probably going to be around 3.5, Rubric 3.5. So throughout this season, we should end up being able to do some pretty decent things. So we'll look at what they're end up projecting us for. right, yeah, season preview here. So Carolina's top spot, and then you also have New Jersey and Utah. Utah's trying to get rid of a lot of their players, so it's kind of weird that that is what it is. Then Washington's a dark horse with Dylan Strome. Scoring race, we're finally getting some respect, I guess, because everyone else is better. Pasternak might be able to get more goals this season. Defensemen, we're not really being recognized, and then Swayman's recognized as the top 3 goalies as well. And yeah, so off-season training, a lot of these players are improving, so professionalism, determination, not much else. So Pasternak, I think some of these players, Musty wasn't on it, so Dupont stamina, but I don't think that should have mattered that much. But we'll look at, so waivers here. Devin Levi, what? All right, I'm going to claim Devin Levi. What? I will take that every day of the week. Henrik Lapierre. I mean, I know you guys will probably see this as being a little bit cheap. This guy did play most of his season in the AHL. He could be an upgrade on right wing, 1.45. Let's look at who else is available. Hoffler, Olsen. I'm pretty much, I'd be doing this more so for a contract for a player that commands a bit more so we can get above the cap. Just one of the reasons why I did that, I think. Okay. So I end up looking at, I guess Devin Levi's now on us. That didn't change yet. He still has potential though. So, I mean, he's roughly around as good as the other guy. So we'll see. I mean, I'm okay with that. Because, like I said, this year's more about competing. Hoffler, no, I want, where's Lapierre? Henrik Lapierre, his offensive is pretty good. He is more of a center and right winger. I'd say right winger, definitely not center. His faceoffs are terrible. Alright, maybe we claim him too. So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll try and claim them. Yeah, obviously we need to add a payroll for that, but that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, Smith might end up having to pop down in order to make it. We should be good though. I don't understand why the salary should be affected right now. So let's look at free agents, see if there's anyone remotely good to even start. Scott Lawton. Scott Lawton, no, not as big of a fan since he joined Toronto. How much would he want? Let's see. How much are we down? I want to make it as realistic as possible. We're 2 million down. See, that change would do it. Probably both those players, so I guess we'll sign him to 3 million, maybe. One of these players. We'll sign one of these players to 3 million. Brazo. Yeah, we'll sign Brazo. Brazo looks good. We're going to give you 1 year, and we're going to give you... let's say 3.5. So he's on our team now, so we should be good for the cap. Yeah, 71.7. So, but someone else is going to have to bump down. So right wingers, I'm going to guess Bocage. That's going to send us down again, isn't it? No, it should be good, actually. Bocage or Edmonds. Alright, Bocage, you're going to get bumped down. And hopefully we get one of these waivers. There's oh, 7.6. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so Chris Burrow's going to have to go down. For now. Until it gets figured out. My quick math is terrible. Did it not send them? I don't get it. Yeah, we have Brazo. Edmonds. Where's the... We have 22 players. Let's, I guess we'll bring him back up. That's very odd. We're still at 200k less, so this is ridiculous. Grady, Martin, Flanagan, Cole Chandler. Okay. Yeah, this is taking a little bit longer than what I would have hoped. Don't want to have to sign another player just to sign, but I guess we're gonna have to. Yeah, Terrence Smith, you're gonna go down to the AHL for now. I guess we're gonna have to sign another player. Ryan Spooner, sure. Yeah, Ryan Spooner, I guess. Sure, we'll just accept that. That's fine. That means that means Brown probably has to get sent down. Don't tell me. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, I just feel like an absolute idiot right now. So Ashton Brown's going to get moved back up. Someone else is going to have to go back down. Someone that makes less. So Christopher O is going to have to get sent down, I think. Why is it 1.2? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to be signing another... You know what? Spooner, we'll just send you down. I'll just sign a better player. How about that? Or sign a player for more. This is insane. There's no more centers. Okay. Texier. No. He's terrible. Fine, Lawton, we'll sign you. 1 year, let's... 4 million. How about that? Yeah, there we're fine. See, I'm just stupid. It's fine. I signed 2 players that it might get sent down anyways. I should have just signed 1 for more money. That's just... Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It just took a lot longer than what needed to. Owner request. Yeah, he wanted me to get a first round pick. Fix roster weakness. That's our new priority. We didn't get Devin Levi. Did we get anyone else? We didn't get either of them. So congrats to us. So thank God we ended up doing that because, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. But at least we're at 75 million now. So well within the floor. And we'll end up playing our first couple games, see how this team's looking, and we'll kind of move on from there. But sorry for wasting everyone's time there. I feel as though we could have done it a lot quicker. And for whatever reason, just had a massive brain fart. For whatever reason, yeah. Nico Dawes on waivers. Only 900k. That's not that great. I was really hoping that we could have upgraded our goalie. What? Oh, they got him. Okay. Didn't they have him before? Jake Evans gets taken as well. Byfield on the block. How much? What do they want? Contract. Left wing. We don't need another left winger. He plays center mainly. Okay, no trade clause. So that's fun. So hopefully AI didn't just mess that up. So we're good. So it's looking like... Okay, AI, you're stupid. Why would we put Voronkov on the top line? Insane. So, yeah, Hoggins, McKenna, and Pasternak, Lorley and McAvoy, and then Villeneuve and Dupont. Klingberg, Drysdale as our defenseman there, and then Rubrick, Poitras, and McQueen. Not too bad. I feel as though we could interchange those two. Musty, Denoyer, and Brazeau. 2 grinders seems a bit odd. I mean, he just doesn't have any good roles. Counterattacking, I guess. And then Edmonds as our bottom line there with Lawton and Voronkov. So that's probably where Voronkov needs to be. But hopefully we won't have any contract issues after the season. So first game, we lose 4-1. Dear God. Okay, McKenna ends up getting his first goal of the season, so not bad. But that kind of sucks. We face off against Ottawa here, and we're hoping to really turn things around. Granted, Buffalo, I don't think it's supposed to be a bad team. So there is that. Granted, they did lose the next game immediately following. So we don't have any first-round picks, so we cannot tank this season. If we tank this season, then I will look at it as it being a little bit disappointing. So, yeah, why is Voronkov at the top line? And where's Rubrick? Why would Rubrick be a center? Oh, this just doesn't make any sense. This is, yeah. McKenna's going to be at the top. Rubrick's going to be there. I'll leave Musty on the bottom line. I'll give him that, sure. Denoyer there. Bocage, sure. That is insane. I don't like that. Dupont, point shooter, okay. Playmaker. See that? Again, that doesn't make any sense. So second game here. We lose 6-3 again. Dupont gets his first ever. Hoggins gets his first. And then Pasternak gets his first of the season. We face off against Ottawa again. I'm not going to change it from this, but just watch. We're going to end up winning. Somehow Lindbaum has great save percentage. He probably just ended up coming in as after we end up letting in the 6th goal possibly. So we have Ottawa and Tampa. Like I said, I think Ottawa's probably a top team. And again, as long as we don't finish in the bottom 10, we're good. It still says rebuild, but I get it. Our strengths are goalie, right D, right wing. Yeah, obviously left D is the weakness. Ottawa's win now. I mean, Sabres are rebuild. So, I mean, if we can at least get one of these, we should be good. And we lose again, 3-0. My God. My God. We're in last place currently. All second last. So Detroit's just a little bit worse than what we are. And they're the team that we end up trading away the first round pick. So they're obviously rebuilding for sure. But I think we can turn this around. The fact that we haven't is kind of insane. I think we might have to put Voronkov on the bottom line there. Just until he nurses from that injury. I mean, 4 points isn't. We can make that up. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, right? So, Voronkov black eye day to day. So obviously that will affect his fitness. I think it's also the disruptive harmony that we end up having as well. I think that's partly it. So for whatever reason, the game just likes doing this. It irritates the absolute piss out of me. But yeah, no. All these issues from just Denoyer, and now we're apparently disruptive. So we'll intervene that one. Didn't do anything. Fantastic. Love to see that. So yeah, looking at it, I think it shows it on this one. Yeah, disruptive hostility. We were fine 2 minutes ago. We were fine before that ended up happening. Let's see if we can bounce back here. And we finally get our first win, 1-0. I'm really they're 2-2-1. Really hoping this is the start of something. We win in overtime, so it takes forever. Hoggins gets his second, and I do not think Pasternak's going to end up getting his getting top goals this season. At least not how things are starting off right now, but at least we move ahead of Toronto. And yeah, absolutely crazy. Granted, it doesn't look like a lot of teams are doing that great. So it looks like the teams that are doing good are doing great, and then the other teams are kind of just doing okay. So long season, still like 80 more games. It's not sell now, but we do have Florida and San Jose, so this will be a better. And now we have a click. I don't like this. I don't like that aspect of the game. I think it is so annoying how it ends up happening and when it happens. So apparently everyone's pissed off at Denoyer, but then he joins the click 2 seconds ago. Like, a little bit annoying. I will say that. I don't like that. Oh yeah, I guess this could also affect it as well. But most of these players aren't playing in the NHL. Well, Scott Laughton is. Chris Fro isn't. Or Linden isn't. Yeah, none of these players are playing right now, so this shouldn't affect us. So we face off against Florida. 4-3 loss. Overtime at least. So we do at least get goals. Dupont with the second. McKenna with the second. Bocage with his first. And we end up losing to Ekblad scoring against us. So San Jose is now the other team that we end up having to face off against. And where are they? San Jose is doing pretty good, 3-1-0. But does bump us up to 6th place here. 3 losses is definitely sticking out, but not as bad as Toronto's and Detroit's. That's for sure. But a lot of teams, yeah, only on 4 points. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Might end up changing one thing here. And Nelson, I'll leave that. I saw this before. I don't like how they just put him as a screener. Up and down winger. We'll do that. See what ends up happening with that. It could be, again, it could be our centers. It could be our centers that are holding us back. Speedy forward, up and down winger, playmaker. I think it's also this too. Counter-attacking. I don't like that. Let's do perimeter shooter for him. Let's see if that ends up changing anything. Swayman's played every single game this season. We do win 3-0. Hogan scores, McKenna scores, and Poitras scores. So, I mean, sometimes tinkering does help. So we get our second win of the season. 2-3-1. We'll play a couple more games here. Or maybe the one. We'll play Montreal. Let's see what ends up happening with that one. They're 5-0. If we can give them their first loss, that'll be a great way to end this. But if not, we weren't really expected to win anyways. But we do face off against Washington, who's 2-3-0, and Montreal as well, who's 5-0-1. So they did finally lose, but they haven't lost yet in regulation. Let's hope that we can give them their first loss. As it's loading and taking forever. Now it's gonna, not responding. That does happen sometimes. But overall, looking out, 5 points. 5 points in 6 games? That's not terrible. 2 points in 8 games is terrible. So we do have that. Let's face off against Montreal. Rivalry game, we're obviously away from home too. And we lose 4-2. So we were expected to lose anyway. Slavkovsky with his 4th against us now. And then Hoggins gets his 4th. Voronkov gets his 1st. And that's all she wrote. Who assists it? McKenna and Dupont. So we'll do this Washington one just to end it. Hopefully we end up ending this on a winning run here. Or just one game for that matter. And then we'll look at how well we're doing for the season. We'll obviously make some changes because something doesn't seem as though it's working quite right now. We'll move up. Lindbaum's going to get his first start of the season. Honestly, things would have been different if we end up getting, if we had Levi probably. Musty gets his first, Poitras gets his second, and then his third, ultimately losing that game as well. So looking out in terms of the NHL, I mean, we're bottom 5. Well, bottom 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Bottom 6 right now. But one win basically bumps us back up to at least halfway through the league. So currently 2-2-1 at home, 0-3 on the road. So obviously the road is what's messing us up. We'll look at quickly at the points. See what seems right, what doesn't. McKenna with 5. Hoggins with 4, and Dupont with 4. Pasternak only with 4 as well. So there's something that needs to be changing here, obviously. Grade-wise, Pasternak's still grading very high. Rubrick's doing pretty good as well. I don't think he played the last game, but only 1 assist is concerning. McKenna, like that, yeah, that's not top minutes for sure. McKenna doing pretty decent, to be honest. 5 points. It's a little bit better. Yeah, he's going to do better than what, or pretty much on pace to do what he did last year. So, I mean, no concern there, but let's see goalies. This is 862, so that game obviously is a write-off. 897 is not what we've come to expect. I guess it is. This is our fault. But currently his team is a little bit better than what it was when we first started. So the fact that he's still not able to do it, it's concerning. But we'll jump up to the trade deadline for next episode. It'll probably be the last time that we end up doing the draft, and then the beginning of the season. We'll probably do it all together next season. Just because we're going to have less draft picks, and we're going to obviously focus more on trades and just development. But I mean, still a little bit better than last year, but obviously the start is concerning, so we're going to have to obviously make some changes there. But hopefully you guys like that. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.